Thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. All eyes are on Iran tonight as U.S. officials say the hardest hit from the U.S. is yet to come. Haley Bull reports on the latest in the new conflict between the U.S. and Iran.
Combat operations continued on Monday for a third day in Iran as the Trump administration sought to publicly lay out its goals.
This was our last best chance to strike.
President Trump's objectives: destroy Iran's ballistic missile program, its navy, its support for proxies like Hezbollah and the Houthis, and its ability to obtain a nuclear weapon. U.S. officials suggesting Iran maintained nuclear ambitions despite efforts to reach a diplomatic deal.
The purpose of this fast-growing missile program was to shield their nuclear weapon development.
U.S. military leaders revealing details Monday about the start of the operation.
This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it.
General Dan Kane detailing more than 100 aircrafts launched initially, striking more than 1,000 targets in the first day.
On the U.S. side, this marked the culmination of months and in some cases years of deliberate planning and refinement against this particular target set.
As operations continue, military officials announced the deaths of at least 6 U.S. service members and the downing of 3 U.S. F-15s in Kuwait due to friendly fire, in which all 6 crew members ejected safely. This as Iran continued its strikes across the Gulf Arab region, with Hezbollah joining, but with new signals that other Arab and European allies are poised to take on a more substantial defensive role. U.S. military officials warned the operation would take time, Hegseth not ruling out the potential of boots on the ground or divulging details of a timeline, as President Trump declared they are ahead of their projections, initially 4 to 5 weeks.
But we have capability to go far longer than that.
Haley Bull, Scripps News Group, the White House.
Well, new details in Sunday's deadly mass shooting in Austin that may have been in response to the attacks in Iran. Right now, the FBI and Austin police have not identified a motive, but the FBI says it is investigating the shooting as a potential act of terrorism. 2 people were killed when a gunman opened fire early Sunday morning outside a 6th Street bar. 14 others were also hurt. The suspect was killed by police. He's been identified as a 53-year-old man who was originally from Senegal. Police say he was wearing clothes with an Iranian flag designed and had the words "property of Allah." They say the man may have had a history of mental health issues. The airstrikes against Iran by the United States and Israel have emotions running high here at home. The strikes killing Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Neighborhood News reporter Ana Conejo spoke with the coastal Bend Iranian Americans who say people in their homeland are happy about the strikes.
Nobody likes the war, but sometimes, as President Trump mentioned, it is the peace through the strength. Sometimes we have to do that for the sake of humanity, for the sake of our children, for the sake of our grandchildren.
Well, Karami says he'll be watching closely as events continue to unfold, seeing the attack as a step closer to freedom for his homeland. He also sends his condolences to the soldiers who have lost their lives. Security has been tightened at Naval Air Station Corpus Christi because of the situation in the Middle East. The base has suspended the Trusted Traveler program until further notice. Security personnel will do ID checks on all adults entering NAS Corpus Christi. At least 1 person in the vehicle must have a current Department of Defense ID. All other persons in the vehicle must have a valid ID, such as a real ID driver's license or passport. You're asked to have your ID ready to present. Traffic delays are expected while these measures are in place. Military operations in the Middle East have also caused oil prices to climb. Fears of a widening war pushed crude prices up by more than 5%. Traders expect a slowdown in the supply of oil coming from Iran and elsewhere in the Middle East. Now, we're already seeing a rise in gas prices. According to AAA, the average price for a gallon of regular unleaded here in Corpus Christi went up by 5 cents overnight. Right now, the price average is $2.63. Prices have gone up by 20 cents per gallon in the past week. Well, the city of Corpus Christi Christie's efforts to nail down the new water sources is at a critical point. In an email to the mayor, council members, and city manager, Peter Zanoni says Lake Corpus Christi is at a 10.1% of capacity today. He expects that to drop below 10% for the first time ever this week. One potential water source is the Western Well Field. That project could provide the city up to 15 million gallons of water per day. City Manager Peter Zanoni told senior neighborhood news reporter Suzanne Stevens today that he is meeting with the mayor and council members this week to explain how crucial this project is.
Well, we're going to show them 3 scenarios. We had been just showing the one, which is the most optimistic, but we'll show them a worst case scenario. If we can't bring on any more water from our Nueces wells into the river, we are beholden to a bed and banks permit, and there's certain requirements of monitoring. And if we can't bring on the Western Well Field in the May timeframe, we know there's several persons that have protested that bed and banks permit. Protest may not be the right word, but they've signed up to object to it. So we have to see what does that mean in terms of issuing the permit. Best case scenario is May, but it could take longer depending on the number of persons who signed up in opposition to it.
We'll continue to keep you updated on what's discussed among city leaders.
I'm Suzanne Stevens. Arsenic notices, rising TDS levels, and a weekend comment by Representative Denise Villalobos are prompting a meeting here in Robstown. Now, WCID number 3 is fast-tracking a deal with Corpus Christi to move away from a river supply that leaders say is no longer reliable. WCID number 3 and city leaders met Monday to fast-track a $1.7 million water line connecting Robstown to the Owens-Stevens system, giving the district access to treated city water instead of relying solely on the Nueces River. The move comes as recent arsenic warnings and higher TDS readings draw attention across the region, including a social media post over the weekend by State Representative Denise Villalobos, who called on TCEQ for expanded oversight.
Now they have to rely exclusively on the river, so this will give them the chance to get water from us to take care of their customers.
In response to Villalobos' post, WCID number 3 board president Ramiro Alejandro suggested Corpus Christi's groundwater well program could be contributing to the higher readings, something Zanoni says isn't the case. He says arsenic levels tend to rise as lake levels drop. He showed WCID 3 city data today, and they agree, with General Manager Marco Zalanis telling Chris 6, the lakes are pushing arsenic, the wells are pushing TDS. We're getting it from both sides. Recent arsenic readings were slightly above EPA standards, though officials say the water is safe to drink. Leaders say accelerating this connection is about giving Robstown another source as drought pressures continue. WCID says that this is about stabilizing water supply, not reacting to politics. We'll continue pressing on updated water data and clarity on what residents can expect next. In Robstown, Suzanne Stevens, Chris 6 News.
Suzanne, thank you. As we mentioned, all eyes are on our water as those lake levels are expected to drop even further. Now, Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber joins us with the first look, and I understand we may be getting some rain.
It's looking pretty good. I was talking about this last week. I was tracking this low pressure system that I thought could be a good sign for us, and it just keeps looking better and better. Now, obviously, we need to temper our expectations because this map continues to look worse and worse. The drought monitor that updated last Thursday shows a lot of color on the map. We don't want any color on this map, but notice with the latest update, we started to see more of this maroon color. Exceptional drought, the worst drought we can measure on this scale, not only locally, but in a good chunk of our western watershed. So not ideal. If we're going to get rainfall, this dry soil is just going to suck it right up. So that's not exactly the case that we'd be working with, but either way, we need rain. We are down bad. We are behind by more than 2.5 inches of rainfall for the year. Obviously, today's March 2nd, so we haven't had any rain this month, being that it's the second day, but we're behind by the standard. However, I think the forecast I have for later this week will get us caught up, at least for March standards, but we've got a lot of catching up to do. In fact, I wanted to show you what some of the preliminary rain estimates from here 7 days out could look like for us. Not as impressive locally, but some expectation here in the coastal bend. But check this out, a pretty good drink of water throughout the watershed, anywhere from 2 to 3 inches possible. Ideally, we'd like 10, but we'll start here. I'll give you a better look at what to expect in this forecast ahead.
And someone drilled holes into the brand new Bob Hall Pier, and now the community is speaking out. The pier opened just last week, but over the weekend, video on social media showed a man drilling into the new structure, as seen right there. He was eventually fined for the damage. We went to the pier and found more than just one hole. Neighbors say they were shocked when they learned the holes weren't part of the construction.
I thought that was like part of the construction, that it was supposed to be in there. But when you told me that somebody just came and drilled that on their own volition, I was like, that's shocking that somebody would take that upon themselves to do that. That's not their property.
Some fishers say there are cheaper options that don't damage the pier, like using zip ties to attach a rod holder to the railing. Nueces County now has a brand new state-of-the-art medical examiner's office. The new Nueces County Medical Examiner's Office at 2610 Hospital Boulevard held its ribbon-cutting celebration this morning. It replaces a much smaller building that had been in use since 1995. It features new technology, including monitors in the autopsy suite and a full-body X-ray scanner. Officials say the focus right now is serving Nueces County residents, but say they may revisit taking cases from other counties once the new facility is fully established. A lasting impact coming up, how neighbors are remembering Susan Shelby Torrance and what she meant to the tennis community. Welcome back. The Coastal Bend community is mourning the loss of Susan Shelby Torrance, a legend of local tennis, both on and off the court. Torrance died Friday after a battle with cancer. A King graduate, she was in the 1968 UIL State Singles Champion and was a #1 singles player at the University of Texas. Her professional career included tournaments like the U.S. Open, French Open, and Wimbledon. But she is best known for her impact in Corpus Christi. Director of Al Cruz Tennis Center, Ronald Elizondo, was introduced to the game at a young age by Torrance and says she was a selfless ambassador for tennis.
She had a layaway plan for everybody, no matter who you were. If you couldn't afford that racket, those shoes, shirt, she would tell you, put it on layaway, give me $10 and pay as you can. And when she retired, she had a stack of layaway.
Torrance was inducted into the Texas Tennis Hall of Fame in 2014. She retired in 2016. Elizondo says her impact in Corpus Christi will be felt for years to come. Our state flag was flying with a bit more pride today. That's because March 2nd is Texas Independence Day. Texas declared its independence from Mexico on this day back in 1836. The signing of the Texas Declaration of Independence declared the Republic of Texas a sovereign nation.
I'm John Matteries with a caution for anyone who takes a carry-on bag on a plane that has wheels on it. I'll show you why that could become a problem now on some flights.
Hey there, y'all. Just want to give you a heads up as to some traffic that's happening on SPID, and there's a little bit of a crash going on there, so please be careful if you're heading up and out the door. Otherwise, a beautiful day, but yeah, the weather's been extra windy out there. We're going to be focusing on this feature out on the West Coast. I'll explain to you more about why Wednesday is going to be a very tricky day for us coming up, but we were talking about how we're expecting some rainfall in the forecast, and that is going to be a huge help for us. Now, I know we've talked about rain before, and well, sometimes it doesn't necessarily pan out all too great for a lot of us, but this should be a case where we see a little more rainfall in the mix because of what I'm showing you here in the box right now. But here's a look at the preliminary rainfall we are expecting. Not a lot here at home. Most of us, maybe a ½ inch if we're lucky as we go through the next week. Hopefully this looks better and we can expect something closer to an inch, but I wouldn't expect a whole bucket full of rainfall here locally in the Coastal Bend. Now, if you live in Live Oak County, B County, maybe that'll be a little more lucrative for you because as you get into the watershed, that's where the best rainfall is expected to be there and up into the hill country, really even more north of that, out toward Waco and portions of West Texas. So we will benefit from some of this. These rainfall totals are subject to change, and this goes accumulatively over the next 7 days. But this would be some of the best rain we've seen in months because at this point the drought has become so severe in our watershed that a lot of this rainfall will be very helpful. It's going to shave some of the color off the map by the time we go to not this update this Thursday, the following. However, we need so much more rainfall. So we'll start there. Want to temper those expectations first. And of course, we didn't see any rain here locally, but it was another pleasant day as long as you didn't mind those disrespectful winds. We started off at 67, a pretty warm start to the morning considering we'd normally wake up in the middle 50s, but the afternoon topping out at 84. So another warm afternoon as well, about 10 degrees warmer than we expect. But the rainfall issue is going to get quickly out of control if we don't get some good rainfall soon. And again, this forecast gives me a little hope. So 2.61 is the official deficit as of today. And as we go over the next couple of days, this is what I'm watching. We're taking a trip upstairs in the atmosphere. Why? Because that's kind of the highway where our weather systems come from. So while we kind of have these straight lines, a straight traffic flow, as it were, across the central U.S., that doesn't really help us get any rainfall in the mix. So what's coming down the pipeline? We'll look out west. There's been some high pressure overhead giving us the nice weather. That's also been over Mexico. But look at this little dip in the map. That wrinkle of low pressure is fighting to get onto the west coast and kind of move across. But as it does and it starts to move into the middle of the U.S., this is likely going to elongate and kind of whip down into Texas. Over the course of a week, that'll whip a couple of opportunities for rainfall into our forecast. The first one starts Wednesday. It's not all that great for us, but as we head into Friday, Saturday, even the weekend, this is looking to be a very good pan out for us with some widely scattered showers here locally in the coastal bend as we head into Saturday night. You don't want me to tell you that about a weekend kind of forecast, but you know what? I think we all could agree we need some rainfall at this point. But as we go through the next 24 hours, you can expect some pretty similar weather. We may have some fog tonight, especially for the inland neighborhoods, say around midnight, but it won't be in for very long. We'll have better visibility for the start of the day. However, there may be a little bit of too much cloud coverage out there for us to really take advantage of this. We've got a total lunar eclipse happening as we head into tomorrow morning. The best viewing for this will be at 5 a.m., last until about, say, 6:50 or so, because we have moonset that will be happening at 6:55. So get up there early so you can catch a glimpse of that. It'll be in the western sky, and we'll keep our fingers crossed for some rain in the mix.
All right, Steph, thanks. A heads up to travelers. Airlines are tightening baggage policies, resulting in more surprise gate checks. John Matarese has ways to avoid the travel headache so you don't waste your money.
When you bring a carry-on bag with you on a plane, you assume the bag's going to stay with you the entire trip. But one traveler learned the hard way that's not always the case, especially if that carry-on has wheels.
It's the dreaded gate check, when agents say your carry-on is too big or the bins are too full. That's what happened to Michael Manning on a recent flight to Charlotte.
We were just 3 feet away from the door of the plane.
He says the agent explained no roller bags were allowed in the cabin.
And it has wheels?
It does, but it does fit in the overhead.
What started as an inconvenience turned life-threatening. Manning says his bag contained essential medication and claims it got mixed up with a bag headed to Florida.
For the next 5 days, the bag went from Chicago to Jacksonville twice. I ended up in the emergency room, and that alone cost me $578.18.
Gate agents may require you to check a roller bag even if it meets requirements, according to professor, aviation historian, and former pilot Dan Bubb, due to limited space on smaller regional jets.
You just don't have much space overhead.
Another reason, safety.
I've been hit. I've seen other passengers be hit by people's bags.
Founder of Koi Traveler, Sandra Awadele, says time is also a factor.
How quickly they get people on board so the plane can leave.
Both experts say keep important items with you, and for good measure buy a carry-on clearly marketed as compliant. Manning says he'll no longer use a wheeled carry-on, especially on small jets.
What do you suggest to other travelers if they have things like important medication?
I suggest that they go out and find a small bag like this. I mean, this fits right in your lap.
That way there's no confusion and you don't waste your money. John Matarese, Scripps News Group.
Pizza lovers rejoice. A new business is officially open in Portland. The details straight ahead. Neighbors in Portland have a new pizza spot they can turn to. Today was the official grand opening of Mr. Gaddy's Pizza. You can find it right off of Highway 181 across the street from Olive Garden. Jeff Gleaning and his wife, Christy, are Portland natives and the owners of the restaurant. They're open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sundays through Thursdays, and they're open until 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Well, that's going to be very important when those football games start to happen.
Love a good pie. Hits the spot every time.
Very good.
Hey, I want to give everybody a heads up. If you're heading home, we've got a traffic alert for you out here along SPID. It is messy, y'all. This traffic is a result of what looks to be a crash right around about maybe Weber and SPID there. So please be careful. I would just avoid this. Traffic is backed up to the crosstown. So if you don't have to be out this way, let's avoid it. This is what we're seeing. It looks like that crash is actually right around the Everhart exit there. And again, this traffic is causing issues on the crosstown and on MPID as far out as Old Brownsville Road. So please be careful though. But for us, hey, weather-wise, we're smooth sailing. We've got some good news in the 7-day forecast. Look at how many rainy icons I have on here. And I don't think we're going to see a boatload of rain, but a lot of rain compared to the nothingness we've seen recently. So I'm excited. I think the watershed will be happy too.
Oh, most definitely. Everybody, thank you so much for watching Chris 6 News. We will see you here in 30 minutes at 6 o'clock. Have a good night. Bye.